の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる流れ星を見上げていたあの夜も
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the newest episode of the Anime Analysts podcast.
Whoopee! Yay! Happy to be here. Always love it. And we're joined by a special guest today. Will the camera be able to pick her up from where she is right now?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Sorry, in the front there.
We got Riley, the dog, with us. Riley's laying behind a chair.
Slowly adding more and more animals.
Yeah, we're going to call this the Anime Analyst Barn soon. Yeah. Hopefully we get a goat, a fit. Well, we got 2 goats right here. You know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, man, we skipped last week. We both just had a really busy schedule. It's finals season. Our last finals of college. Mm-hmm. And it is kicking my ass just a smidge. Just a smidge.
I'm pretty much caught up after last week. I got like an essay left and a portfolio, but had my last class of college a couple hours ago.
Oh, how you feeling?
Fucking great.
Feeling great?
I'm
happy
ready
to be done
with this. Ready to
take that next step.
On. Become
a what? An adult?
I couldn't think of the word.
Like a member
of society.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I want to add something, you know?
Yeah. Fiscally, I'm not excited to add something because that means they're going to be taking more money from my pockets. The idea of not being able to claim exempt anymore for my shitty college job is a little saddening.
I mean, I don't give a fuck because I'll be making so much more money.
True. We will be making more money, which will be nice. I'm excited to test this theory that we constantly talk about, where we're like, money does buy happiness.
Oh, it for sure does.
Well, here's the thing. What if we get there? Oh, hi, Riley. So good to see you. Riley normally doesn't get all cuddly with me, so that was a big step in our relationship. But what do you call it? Yeah, we've always talked about like, oh, we'll be so happy once we have money. What's our plan if we get a lot of money, and then we're like, oh fuck. Like, I'm still depressed. What do we do there?
Buy more shit.
Just buy more shit, I guess.
don't know. I think money doesn't buy happiness, but just like this, like me making $50,000 a year, like I don't think me making $50 million a year would make me any more happy because I just have more pointless shit in my life and people would probably be more fake. But me making $50,000 a year is a lot fucking happier than me making
whatever
12 an hour.
Yeah. True. It will definitely provide a sense of fiscal freedom that I'm excited for.
Comfy.
Yeah, I'm excited for comfort. Comfort will be an enjoyable thing. Not excited to live at home. That's something that if the second I can get out of there, I think I will. It's not that I don't like living at home. It's just, you go from the independence of, having your own space, doing whatever the fuck you want to do, to having to, I guess, well, what's the word I'm looking for? To having to take into account like other people with every action that you make. Like I can't just, yeah, exactly.
I want to be alone sometimes.
Yeah, I can't just like fucking put a chair in a room and leave it there for a day because I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. Now, if I put a chair somewhere, like I have to check with someone first to make sure the chair can go there. I'm not excited for those extra steps that are going to be involved in the process.
It's like the idea of like doing chores and shit. Like you're fine doing them, but when someone tells you to do them, you don't want to do them. Oh yeah. On the topic of doing chores and shit. Oh my God, my apartment was messy after like the last like 2 weeks. Yeah. Everyone in my apartment has just been in like this fucking very, very stressed, shitty frenzy of just trying to get assignments done, get everything turned in on time, all that nonsense. And because of it, we've been hardcore slacking. Yeah. Like we were out of trash bags. You're just piling shit in like beer cases and stuff.
Dude, I was literally filling every Walmart bag that we've ever had with trash. And then finally because at first we were like, oh, we'll be able to make it. It's only like 3 weeks. I went and bought trash bags yesterday. I was getting so sick of all of the shit that was just lying around.
It gets bad when you're so out of room for trash that you start putting shit like in your dirty bowls.
Yeah. Oh.
Like next to the trash.
Oh, dude.
Like you got like granola wrappers and shit.
Oh,
the boxes for pasta. Like
yeah. No, it's been rough. Yeah. But yeah, so our apartment's clean now. That
makes you feel a lot better.
I tweaked a little bit. I did tweak a little bit. Because I'm not a very tweaky person.
Sometimes you need to. Though.
Yeah, you do. Just
to set people straight.
Yeah. No, my goal for this year was get a lot better at being more assertive. And this was a big test in that process. Because so far I've been able to get assertive when it's like stuff that just affects me. You know what I mean? Like group projects or conversations with professors on due dates and like grade changes and stuff like that. But now that it was a shared space, that was a bit harder because there were more people involved with it.
Yeah.
But I did tweak. I was like, hey, we're doing our fucking dishes.
Standing up for yourself.
Yeah, no, I had to, which is big, man. You got to learn to stand up for yourself. You got to learn to say no. That's another thing I want to get better at, saying no.
Reminds me of a big lesson in the show I've been watching.
Mr.
Mob.
Oh, yeah, baby. And then let's hit this beautiful non sequitur that I'm about to throw in there. Trey, what you been watching? What you been doing? How's life?
Life is good. I feel refreshed for some reason.
Hell yeah.
Maybe it's just the week off of drinking. Maybe it's just the finally getting on top of everything that I need to get on top of. Finally just getting finished with school.
Dude.
Just riding the wave now to the finish line. And it feels good, I gotta tell you. But haven't been watching a whole lot. I mean, keeping up with the newer weeklies. Konosuba's back.
Yep.
It's nothing like phenomenal, but it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's casual. It's easy to watch. It's Konosuba.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. I love it. We got Kaiju number 8.
Oh, yeah.
I know you've been loving that.
I've been loving Kaiju number 8.
We'll get further into that, but the first 3 episodes, money. I know you loved it.
Absolute money. Absolute money.
It's a kind of like Konosuba. It's just a nice, refreshing, like very shonen, very fun, very freeing.
Hell yeah.
And then Mob Psycho.
Yes, sir.
I finally hopped on the train.
Yes.
I dropped it about 6 times through episode 3. Finally just fucking pushed through it. This shit's got to be top 25 at least.
Oh,
probably
bare
further.
Once you finish it, I think it'll get further because this season 3 is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Can we just touch up on something real quick?
So
Rangan is
love him.
Such an awesome
He's
character.
so funny.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That first episode when one thing Mob Psycho does such a good job of, in my opinion, is the vibe they want you to get off a character. You get that vibe within 3 seconds of them talking.
Yeah.
You know exactly if they're a good guy, if they're a bad guy, if they're a funny character, if they're just like a fucking, a rival. You know exactly what they are immediately, and then because they skip all of like the stupid introductory stuff that you would go into like creating those dynamics.
It's the least exhibition I've ever seen.
Yes.
In like a manga anime series.
Yes.
There's no explanation of shit. It's like they just trust the audience that they've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
They're not fucking idiots.
Yeah, we know the tropes.
They're seasoned. People who are watching this shit are seasoned anime watchers, or at least they're smart enough to fucking know it's a good show.
Yeah.
And they're smart enough to not need a 30-minute fucking breakdown of like single action or a single character.
No, it's phenomenal. It truly is a phenomenal show. I absolutely love it. The animation,
it's so good,
dude. Because it switches. It switches a lot.
Constantly.
Like the scene where that girl that was lying to Mob about liking him tears up her essay.
Oh, dude.
and then he like.
That killed me.
Dude, that shit was fucking beautiful.
That killed me.
When you learn, that's when you realize, in my opinion, you know Mob's a good person, but that right there, when he has every reason to just not help this girl, that right there is like a what the fuck? Mob's a phenomenal guy.
Season 1, fucking phenomenal. Like introduces everyone. It gets like the plot of the Claw. And their season 2 is so much about growth.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And you have these like 2 of my favorite episodes where Mob basically just tells Reagan to fuck off.
Yeah.
He just goes away for a couple weeks, and it like you see Reagan go through all the shit he's going through. You see how sad his life actually is, no matter how much of a front he puts up. And it's so good.
So
and then after all of it, Mob fucking saves him, fixes his reputation, and he fucking like Reagan literally admits to like what he is.
Which is a scandal.
And Mob's like, I've known the whole time.
Yeah.
But Mob just knows he's a good fucking guy.
Yeah.
And he knows he can help him become a better person too.
Reagan's backstory is, first off, phenomenal because of how, I guess, just easy it is to relate to. Reagan is at his core just a normal dude in a world of not normal people. And he wants to do everything he can to, try and just make something of himself. He's experienced.
He's the complete opposite of Mob.
Yeah. He's experienced what like just mundane life is, and he understands this is not what I want. And so he takes a chance at, with this fucking kid that he meets. And, and from there we see just this amazing story get built. My favorite, so Reagan is my favorite character, but my favorite, like, I guess just like not gag, but comedic relief group is the weightlifting crew.
Oh my god.
They are chads, bro.
Yeah.
They are so chads,
dude.
Bro.
Season 2, the fucking...
Are you talking about the school part?
Where the 4 fucking, like, leaders of the claw, besides, like, the main guy, are, like, trying to kill everyone, and the big muscle dude goes after Mob, and Dimple fucking takes over the muscle guy's body, like the president of the club. Such a good moment. Dude, such a good moment.
Dimple is another character that has
Dimple.
Dude, I will say, spoiler alert for anyone listening that wants to watch Mob Psycho. When Dimple turns out just to be the villain, is that season 1 or season 2?
Season 1.
He's
like the religious, smile group.
When Dimple's the smile guy at the end of the season, which looking back on it, I'm like, why the fuck did I not realize that? But when Dimple comes out to be that, I was like, fuck, man, I thought I liked Dimple, like, a lot. I was like...
They say it, like, the episode after the small group.
No, I know. And then he gets redeemed. He even though he's like this fucking spirit, like his character redemption is actually really well done.
Yeah.
It's so well done. And it like breaks down this like throughout the entire show, you see spirits. And the only thing that like this show wants you to think is like spirits bad, Mob, eviscerate, remove them. And I love that they bring in this spirit that ends up being like an integral part of like the main 3 character.
Countless times.
Countless fucking times. Good, dude. And at first, his motivation for saving Mob isn't the best. It's, he wants to basically just take over Mob's body. But then he starts to learn that like Mob is this person that not only do I want to have around me, I kind of like appreciate for his core. Like, that show is just phenomenal, dude. It's so fucking good.
We talked about it a little bit. It's just, every single part of it is so unique.
Yeah.
Like, it's unlike anything.
Unlike anything
similar,
else.
like, in ways to One Punch Man, but it's also so different.
Yeah.
Too. It's so good.
It's a gag show with very, very good underlying themes.
Yes.
Very good underlying themes. I'm so glad you enjoy it.
Yeah,
I really am.
I can't wait to finish
I've been preaching this show forever, and it's in my top 10 for a reason. And like now that I'm talking about it, which is 100% just recency bias of me going back and rewatching my favorite episodes. Once you told me you watched it, I watched a couple episodes that I loved. And it's 100% recency bias, but I mean, this shit has a case to be in my top 5. Like I love it that much, dude. It's just
shows that make you want to be a better person.
Yeah, it truly is. And it does it in such a simplistic and fun way. Just such a fun, beautiful way. It's a great fucking show. High key recommend for anyone who hasn't seen it. And if you can't get into it, you can't get into it. Trey, maybe it's just anime. We've talked about this so many times, this concept of like anime needing to be at the right time in your life. And I feel like this is at such a good time in our lives for you to watch it, because no longer is our goal, or it still is, don't get me wrong, but it's not like our number one, priority anymore, making something of ourselves from like a fiscal standpoint. I feel like I'm in this place now where like the improvements I want to make are kind of a bit more, character based and moral surrounding. Yeah.
Become a good person. Get a good group of friends around you.
Which we do. We have such a good group of friends. We are so lucky.
What have you been watching?
So watch-wise, I've just been watching my weeklies again. Kaiju number 8. Love it. Absolutely fucking love it. Jobless Reincarnation. Still, I say it every time I talk about it. They really, really, really need to take a fucking, take a little off the gas on the pedophilic side of things. It's a little odd knowing this dude's, 40 in this guy's body talking about this, fucking 15-year-old's boobs. Like, the action's really dope. The Rudis is a dope fucking character. He's dope's the wrong word to use there, but Rudis is a cool character. The world building's really cool. The magic's really cool.
The storyline at its core is
fucking great. Phenomenal. If they just removed this one aspect of this is the
it's
whole
so
problem.
Simple to remove it. The show would be the same.
Well, here's the thing with isekais. It's when you set up a show to be a 30-year-old who gets reincarnated in a magical world as a child and goes in or just any isekai whatsoever, when an older person gets reincarnated as a younger person, you have to accept in that moment that you are removing any form of romance as a plot point. You have to accept it, because the alternative to continuing romance is the grievance that I'm having with the show now, which is that this is just a dude being a fucking pedophile. Like, it is a dude being a pedophile. Like, it's just fucking whack, dude. But yeah, so Outside of that, though, I'm sort of enjoying the show. It does make it difficult. What else have I been watching? Or reading? Got caught up in Blue Box. I was like 5-6 chapters behind. Blue Lock got caught up in. And because I loved the show that much, I read all of Kaiju number 8. And that's
crazy.
Dude, I read it in one sitting. It is so fucking good, dude. It is so fucking
still good. Ongoing.
Yeah. I thought it was going to end. So I texted Trey on my way back I just got back from a cabin weekend with some friends. Loved it. It was the nice mental reset that I needed. Except when we lost all our fucking fish, but what can you do? What was I saying? Oh yeah, driving back with Trey. I'm like 10 chapters away. I can't read in the car or else I'll throw up. So I'm just waiting to get back. Mm-hmm. And so I text Trey. I'm like, dude, I'm about to finish Kaiju. And he's like, it's still going. Where I left off, spoiler alert for anyone who isn't reading Kaiju or wants to watch Kaiju, please do not listen to the next like minute of rambling. Where I left off, they were fighting Kaiju number 9.
Wait, I'm not caught up.
You're not caught up?
No.
I thought you were caught up.
I'm only reading it physically. I'm only through 3 volumes.
Oh, thank God you shut me off. Thank God you shut me off.
No,
okay.
No.
Never mind. No spoiler alert.
It's one of the ones I started physically, so I can't switch on.
Okay, no, that's valid. But so I got caught up in Kaiju. It's super well done. It's super cool. Characters are so fucking awesome. I love it. Kaiju number 8 is just dope as fuck. It's good. It's a very good show. Mm-hmm. And then I've been light reading some other ones. I've already watched the anime for March Comes In Like a Lion, but I absolutely love it so much. Have I talked about chess much on this podcast?
Occasionally. Not in depth.
Not in depth. So I love chess with every bone in my body. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite hobbies that I picked up on a whim. And I have literally found across the last, 8 years that I've been like kind of playing it, I've found a couple thousand hours of enjoyment that I get out of this thing, which is so crazy to me because I never had to put $1 into this. Mm-hmm. And I found so much enjoyment. I have put money into it, but it's more or less just for like books and cool memorabilia shit. And so March Comes In Like a Lion is about a shogi player who is a very, very talented shogi player, but he is a very depressed human being. And it just walks you through his life. And, season 1, as you see him develop, they do some very similar things that the movie Deaf Girl X's on the Face. Silent Voice. They do some art style choices, kind of like a Silent Voice, but instead of like physical X's on people's face, like the colors surrounding the people are a lot more dim. Mm-hmm. And I love... in writing, I love typography changes, and I feel like in anime, messing with like the formatting of characters and like the art style is a type of typography change, and it adds a layer of enjoyment to the piece that makes it
for sure.
Kind of like what we talked about earlier. It makes it easier to pick up what is being established. We have not done our Bev review yet, and I'm
itching.
Me too. We were drinking a Sprite Cherry. Next week we should do lean. Are you down for lean? Yeah, that'd be
some
fun.
Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. That's good.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a pre-made Shirley Temple.
Yeah,
which is exactly what it is.
Exactly.
It's good. It's refreshing. Wish we would have done it a little earlier.
Yeah, it would have been nice for it to be a bit colder.
Yep.
It kind of tastes like. Did your family shop at Fairway?
No, we were a big Dolls
fans. We were Dolls. Oh, they had them at Dolls as well.
Shopper.
Did you ever get the wild cherry juice boxes or juice pouches when you were a kid? Not the Capri Sun ones. The off-brand ones.
Yes.
Kind of taste like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Those were so good. Those were
money.
Dude, those were so good.
I stood by that.
Those lasted. My mom came back from a grocery haul and she brought 12-pack of Mr. Pibb. Couple gallons of milk, chocolate milk, juice.
A 6-pack of mini Sunny D's.
6-pack of mini Sunny D's in a box of juice boxes. Because my family growing up, me and my siblings, we were huge drinks people. Food's good, don't get me wrong, but I loved a good drink. Mm-hmm. So did my siblings. If my mom went to the grocery store and bought a bunch of stuff for us, those had a shelf life in our house of 2-3 days max. We were hammering those fucking drinks so fast.
Yeah, we're huge soda people. Like, soda with dinner every night, soda just leisurely, soda TV, just
we loved soda as well. And then
my parents were like bigger than me, and I feel like it was because obviously when you have kids, you just can't really drink as much. And they had like 3 kids with 4 years apart, so that's like fucking so many years. Just like can't drink for a while. Mm-hmm. Had to have just replaced that shit with soda.
No, 100%. We my mom never. She didn't drink very much. She still doesn't, but it's still fun when I have a beer with her because I'll finish like 2-3 beers. She'll finish her first beer and she'll be like, "Oh my God." My family calls me Will. She'll be like, "Will, like I'm buzzed right now." I'll be like, "Kristen, you've had
crazy.
1 Busch Light. Calm down there." But no, yeah, drinks. This was kind of like a fun little walk down, like nostalgia lane a little bit. It kind of reminded me of that taste. So I'm gonna give it another hit.
Yeah, but going back to March Comes In Like a Lion, I have been very hesitant to consume it. I feel like on multiple occasions I have stood there with it on the screen, ready to click play for episode 1, but I've just never been able to do it because I've heard so many good and bad things.
And what are the bad things?
I've just heard that it's, at least the show, it gets repetitive. The seasons are kind of running on.
A little bit.
Longer than they need to be. I've hered great things about the manga, but I've heard it's kind of bland.
I get what you mean. They do this... They do... One of the reasons I like it a lot is because it was one of the first shows I ever watched that did a solid portrayal of mental health issues. They're not like it's and it's not like the main thing on this guy's mind constantly. It's more or less they establish that this main character is depressed and has like anxiety and stuff like that. But then they don't like show it through his words. They kind of like show it through his lack of action towards the things that he likes. Like Shogi in this instance, they do a lot of flashbacks to him when he was younger and he was loving it so much. And they show like he's feeling burnt out on Shogi now. And it's like, how does his life get affected by the mental illness going on? It does get a little repetitive. Like there are some times when I'm sitting there, like he'll have, a match with his father or grandfather or something. And he won't go. And cause he literally just rots in bed all day or something like that. And it'll be it'll be a similar concept to that a couple times in a row in like an arc. And like it does get a little repetitive. And I think what they were trying to do in that case was show like the grip that these things have on a person.
It's like the cycles of actual mental illness.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense when you're accurately depicting, but I feel like
it's not that fun to consume.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's a TV show. You gotta at least cater to your audience a little bit.
There has to be a sense of entertainment there.
Yes.
And occasionally occasionally is a good word to use there. It's not that often, but it did happen a few times when I was watching season 1. Season 2 I loved so much. Season 2 it didn't do that. Season 1 though, occasionally I was like kind of skipping ahead a few minutes, which if you're doing that in a show, not the best, but
which I think just because you're talking highly of it, I'll probably give it a try at some point, but I'll probably go with the manga route.
I'd go with the manga route.
Just it's so much easier to get through a manga.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Talking about this, like just cycle of depression and like falling off of your passions and going back into the depths. Switch it up to Real.
Oh yes,
we both caught up with Real. I guess basically finished it because the dude's never gonna finish it.
What Inoue?
Inoue, yeah.
He is the fucking master of creating these beautiful stories, getting 75% done, and then saying, "I'm good, I'm done." Because Slam Dunk will never
wildly
finish.
Loved by fucking millions of people,
millions
and then
of
just
people
letting them down,
dude. Millions of people. Slam Dunk will never finish. Real probably will never see that shit come to fruition. No. What's his other one?
I think
that he made?
Technically, Real is not on hiatus anymore, but it's just coming out like
it's once every like 4 months.
Like 4 months.
Yeah. It's one chapter every 4 months.
I think like the most recent one was like 96, and it came out like the end of last year. Yeah.
One sec. While we're talking about Real, I'm gonna pull up character names real quick, just because this manga, I don't know what it is about this.
But in relation to March Comes In Like a Lion and that like discussion of repetitiveness and like just getting really tired of it. Oh my fucking God. Hasanobu makes me want to fucking like shoot someone.
Which one? It's the
douchebag.
Oh, the fucker who got paralyzed.
You A rank scum, you D rank scum.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yes.
He's such a pussy.
When I was reading it, I was really, really hoping that he would have this moment where it's like he sees all these lists and they just like fade.
Yes.
And it hasn't happened yet.
But you think it's going to happen so many different times. Like he finds a path
so many different times.
Like when he picks up
the
the
does
basket.
good.
Yeah.
And then his like wheelchair like turns left.
Yeah.
When he's like
trying to
carrying the ball.
Yeah.
And then he's like runs away.
Yeah.
For 5 chapters. Like tells his mom to fucking kill
herself. Yeah.
Dude's a scumbag.
Dude is such a scumbag at his core. Yeah, who's your favorite character? Because I have mine.
I don't know. I feel like these are very realistic characters, so there is stuff that I just hate about all of them, and there's stuff I really like about all of them. I feel like just universally the most liked character by me is what's the bigger dude who joins the Tigers from Australia?
Oh,
played
fucking
for the Australia team.
Yes. Let me find it. Mitsuru.
Yes,
big motherfucker.
Simply just a good guy at heart.
Yeah,
he motivates others. He's just a happy person. He knows his disabilities. He owns his disabilities.
Yeah, but he doesn't let it define it.
Yes, he gets better every day. He's fucking jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, he's an incredible character. He is at his core. I wish I got to see sometimes a little bit from him because I think he has potential to be the best character in the show. In the manga, I completely agree. I wish we got to see that, alternative side where it's like he feels defeated, especially when they're playing like the dreams or something like that.
And obviously I love Togawa. I love the other main guy.
Nomiya. The main guy. The dude who takes a shit on the fucking school. What a based moment that is.
Nomiya pisses. I really love this manga, but I have a lot of like discrepancies with it.
With the characters are tough.
Sometimes. They're just so raw. They're so real, and I feel like
they're genuine people. Yeah.
What's the manga's name again?
Something Inoue.
Yeah, Inoue has like a very phenomenal grasp of storytelling in the sense of he can like very well control like the A arc, the B arc, the C arc, like Nomiya, Togawa, and Hasanobu, like, all at once. But he gets fucking lost, man. He throws in a D arc, an E arc, an F arc. Yeah. And he will grind those fucking arcs 4 chapters longer than I care to fucking pay attention.
Do you know what my favorite arc in the entire fucking manga?
If you say the Shiratori arc, I'm a blow up.
The fucking wrestling part?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Fuck that, dude. That was like 7 chapters. By the second one, I was like, get the fuck on with this, man.
You don't like Scorpion?
3 fucking chapters were the exact same thing. Him like being like, he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. Oh, he doesn't fall. Finally, 3 chapters later, does he fall? All right, he's on the ground. Get up, Shiratori. He doesn't get up for 3 more chapters, but he doesn't let it define him. He still loses, but that's his Scorpion character.
Dude, yeah.
Fuck that, dude. I was so bored.
Really? Oh, I love that chapter. I love that.
I love Shiratori.
I love him. He's my favorite character.
As a side character.
He's my number 1 character. He's my favorite.
That's fine. He's also very enjoyable.
He is the, like... because what we kind of talk about a little bit with... Oh, actually, should we take a break real quick? Yeah. We will be right back with you guys. Love you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of this episode. Thank you for sticking to us. I know me and Trey are both really excited to talk about this manga. Even if we have our like grievances, feeling some form of like passion towards an aspect of a show kind of just goes to show how much we enjoy it.
Just shows how good something is. The more it's debated, I think just the more obvious it is it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Neon Genesis.
NGE.
People hate it because it's great.
Infamous.
Yes. That's a better word because it fucking blows.
It does blow.
Yes. Back to Shiratori.
Tell
me why you like this show.
I like that arc a lot because, from the rip, the first thing that we're introduced with this character, or not the first thing, but one of the first things we're introduced with this character is like, he's this big, strong fucking dude, ginormous arms and body. We learn that the third group of the, paralyzed 3 musketeers, whatever they call themselves, is a massive fan of Scorpion. And, we see him act around this. But up to this point, we've never learned, I guess his character. Like his, not like who is Shiratori or Kazuo Shiratori. We've never learned who is Scorpion, his wrestling alter ego. So we get in there and we see this guy. Immediately, he's like, I'm the bad guy in this fucking scene. Like, I'm not... Scorpion's the bad guy. I'm going to choke this dude out with a chain. I'm going to fucking, throw a chair at this guy. I'm going to do all that shit. And he does it in the most beautiful moment in this manga. For me, is when he's doing it so the other guy can shine brighter than the darkness.
The 2 rising suns.
2 rising suns. You need a moon. And that shit genuinely almost brought me to tears when I was reading it for the first time. Because you see him, and he is, in my opinion, Shiratori is Nomiya. He is Nomiya 20 years down the line if Nomiya didn't find his passion. Because it's not that he loves being the bad guy whatsoever. No. Because he is a good person. He is a really... Shiratori's a great person throughout the entire show. He's constantly trying to motivate Hisanobu. How do you pronounce it? Hisanobu. He's constantly trying to motivate Hisanobu and telling him like, wow, you're insane for being able to get off the floor into the chair. Like I can't do that and you can. That's crazy. We know he's a good guy, but what he has found is a place. Mm-hmm. He's found this place as the villain. And while that arc did drag on, and I'm not going to act like it didn't, those couple chapters where it was just him hanging on the ropes and like falling back and forth. But this was one of my favorite parts in the entire thing. When he gets on that guy's shoulders and they step up onto the top turnbuckle and he's like, it's like there's the scene where you can see all the lights from like all the phones, the manga panel, and him standing there, even though he doesn't have hair, the wind's blowing through his hair. Yeah. And he's like, this view is beautiful. I want to, like, I've never been this high before, and like, I can't even use my legs. This is crazy. That whole part was just amazing to me, man. I love Shiratori so much as a character because he is the most I'm not going to say well-developed, because like he comes in that, complex, like he already in the show or in the manga, the second you meet him, he's already this complex, well-built character because of the dynamic he has with his wrestling alter ego. Yes. And he uses that platform of his wrestling alter ego so well. He's got the little girl that he wants to, inspire and to make a fan out of him. It's just, I love that character so much, man.
Yeah. And he just like, Shiratori is a great character. Yeah. And insanely developed for how far of a side character he is. Yeah. And he does have these moments, like, which I enjoyed in his background, like him, like, basically being sent away and told to become the villain, and him not quite understanding why he was chosen to become the villain. And so he ultimately becomes a real villain and, like, forces his wife to leave him. Like, loses his child. Yeah. And then finally, like, him overcoming that disability of being a villain. Yeah. It's like he's, like, already gone through so much more struggle than these other characters who are so young that he knows how to much better handle the literal disability he has. And I really, like, find myself wishing that the main characters were like him, specifically Nomiya and Hasanobu. Because he has these moments, like, he can't even do a floor get up through his 3 months, but like, no matter what, he's still like,
I will stand.
In 3 months, I'll be fucking in the ring. And he does it, even if he has to, like, adapt the way he does it. Yeah. He changes, he fucking maneuvers his way through life to just, like, keep his head up, basically. Yeah. And the other characters do not do that.
No, they don't. Nomiya is getting better at it. Yes. He is the character that gets the best at it. Togawa
doesn't, like, fall to the depths as much so as just, like, get mad at himself.
Well, it's kind of like, he's already fallen to the depths where he is. All three of these characters, in my opinion, are in the same spot. Yeah. Or they're all in the same, I guess, plot line. You start off as low as fucking possible, which is where Hasanobu is, right? And he's kind of still there. Like, and then you get to the point where you find your passion, you're trying to reach it, which is where Nomiya is. He's trying to basketball. And then you get to the point where you have found your passion, you have accomplished your passion, and you're just trying to, make the best version of you, and you see the complications that come with that. Like, Togawa is, that scene, it might be one of I say the word favorite a lot, but it's just because, like, I just like it. When I like something, it's my favorite.
They're all your favorite.
But, when that manga panel with Togawa, where we first learned what the procedure because I had no idea what it meant, like a reverse, like, what do they call it? It's basically where you put the fucking foot backwards on your knee.
Heel your knee.
Yeah, exactly. It's because they have the same joint. When I had no idea what they were talking about when they were talking about that surgery. So when we first see him laying in bed, all the trash around him, and you see his foot as his knee, that shit, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. When he's young, when he's sitting in bed,
what the fuck? I was like, that's ridiculous.
And yes, I feel like maybe some of the reason I hate how slow progressing it is and how much time is focused on side characters is because deep down I know he's never going to finish it.
Yeah.
And I know it's not ever going to complete. So I'm just like in the back of my mind, like, fuck off with these guys. Let me get at least as far as I possibly can with these characters I genuinely want to see succeed.
I want to see Nomiya succeed. Part of me doesn't really want to see Hasanobu succeed. He is a fucking
dude. He's a dick.
He's such a dick.
He's such an asshole.
He's a dick to the one girl that came and visited him. Which I mean, that's a tough spot to be in. At the end of the day, Hasanobu, it is your fault that you got paralyzed.
God, yeah, you stole a fucking
bike, dude. That's your fault that you got paralyzed. Yes. Like and he blames other people for it.
I hate how much of a cunt he is to Nomiya too.
Yes,
because Nomiya's trying.
Nomiya
just got a short fuse, so at the end of it, Nomiya always just comes out the bad guy.
Yeah, no,
and so it's so sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. Nomiya, you can tell he's someone who cares, and like, dude. When you first learn about why Nomiya goes and visits that girl, and it's because he paralyzed her.
Dude. Oh my god.
He's
almost going through it the most.
Dude,
he's got so much emotional weight.
Oh.
And he just drew a bad hand of cards too. Like his mom's never fucking there.
Yeah.
His grandparents died.
Yeah.
He was a fat ass as a kid.
As a kid that just wanted to.
One European friend moved away.
Yeah. Dude, they literally never communicated. They never spoke to each other. It was fucking nuts. They would just, what do you call it? Nomiya would try to run away from them the bullies taking his lunch money, and then they would just play basketball. Yeah. And it's fucking beautiful.
It's so good.
That dude, one of the saddest parts in that show is when he's like, I never knew what he was, or in the manga, he's like, I never knew what my friend was trying to say to me. And he's like, but I did know that he never came back after that. And I'm like, oh, dude, come on, bro.
All right. I had one of my biggest questions for you about this manga, which I was thinking about the whole time I was watching. Inoue is a better artist than he is storyteller. And he's a phenomenal storyteller. The art's just that fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And everything he draws. If this were like a shonen art style, like this is like Kuroko no Basuke's art style. Are you enjoying the story as much?
Same writing, same character,
same exact story. The art's just like a typical fucking shonen.
That's gonna be tough because I was talking about with that typography stuff earlier. Yes. I'm a firm believer that writing and the formatting that gets presented in play hand in hand, and that they're 50% even with each other. Like, you can have this beautiful, story, but if like the I guess art is dog shit, like nobody's going to enjoy it as much because there is an essence of consumption that comes down to visuals. I think where I have Real right now, I have it at like a 9. I think it's fucking phenomenal. I love it so much.
That's great.
But for both reasons I'm talking about now, the art is good and the writing is really good. Sure, it drags on a little bit. Like, we're 90 something chapters in, and like realistically, not like in terms of development of any of the characters.
He should be like twice as far in.
Yeah, he should be twice as far in. But it's real. There is no timeline for this kind of stuff. But what I was saying is, let's say the art is bad. I'd probably knock it down to like a 7, maybe a 6, like genuinely.
And, I mean, I think his storytelling wise, what like grips me the most is how real and just raw the characters are, and how realistically portrayed, especially their emotional journeys are.
Yeah.
And because his art is so realistic compared to some of the other manga styles out there, it makes it that much more like genuine, like hit you in the stomach when you read this shit. Because like, I mean, if I'm watching like just an insanely drawn, like a 2D fucking like outline of a person, as most manga are, like, especially shonen wise, I'm just not going to care as much. It's not going to feel as raw as it should. And he has these like full page manga panels that are just fucking like beautiful. Like, it would take me the rest of my life to be able to draw something.
Oh yeah. Good. Like the a panel that literally I glanced by, but looking back at it is amazing. So when Togawa is at that basketball camp, and it's like the first instance of him learning like, oh shit, in this process of trying to better myself, I've cast away other people. That scene where everyone who's they're all like gathered around the coach, and it's like 2 pages split. And he hand drew everybody's wheelchair, all like 40 people. They're all individualistic and so unique. All of these characters in their size, weight, their chairs are unique to the actual person. Like, that shit, I was like, Jesus Christ,
they're
dude.
So good, yeah.
It's incredible. I'm not going to say I get why it takes him so long to write stuff or to, produce new chapters, because like Slam Dunk and I mean, does Vagabond even have anything releasing anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so Vagabond's done. Slam Dunk, I think it's still releasing, but like it's at the same rate as everything else. Like what the fuck is taking you so long here?
He's drawing fucking multiple manga at this high of quality.
Yeah.
It would take you that long.
No, I know, but I'm saying like...
Yeah, but it's...
Like, right where he is right now, the shows that the manga he has releasing, he's releasing on a 3-chapter a year thing. Like, genuinely 3 chapters a year. If he could up it to 6 and do once every 2 months, I would be so fucking happy.
I think he went through, like, the typical just mangaka burnout where he was, like, getting really sick.
Yeah.
And he was just super fucked up for a while.
That's valid.
Which makes sense. And we had a whole episode on this where demanding and like just pressuring people so much leads to fucking
no. I'm not
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not practicing what I was preaching in the previous episode we talked about with wanting to, like eventually our hunger to consume media cannot overtake our understanding that media must be created in a humane, good way. Yeah. Because where the anime industry is now is those two, lines have crossed each other, and the moral side of it is below the consumption side of it, which is where it shouldn't be whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Fucking Studio 4C, I hope you burn. I hope you fucking burn, you dog shit trash industry. Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but
I will say one thing with Real that I hope for in the next couple years, because as this manga, as good as it actually is, the fan base for it is, I'm not going to say niche, but it's
smaller.
It's smaller. It's smaller than what I think it deserves. It's an incredible manga, and it's an incredible manga based on something that I never would have thought to even look into: wheelchair basketball.
And it's so good, yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's truly phenomenal. He does... I was trying to find stuff for this episode about Inoue researching and, interacting with handicapped people, because it is... it's so fucking well done.
Such a full understanding of everything that goes into
I was reading...
the surgeries, the different, vertebrae and levels of, what point system you are as a player. It's crazy.
No, it's, I was reading a Reddit post about it, and it was a guy who does play wheelchair basketball, and he's like, this is the most authentic representation of the sport that I play.
Probably one of the only few, too.
Yeah, it cannot... Yeah, it can't be, there's no way that there's a market for that. But, I mean, it's just fucking incredible, dude. It really is. If there's, I mean, any other manga that you've been reading that you want to talk about? Because I mean, with Real, is there anything else that you want to cover?
I think we pretty much got the whole spiel with Real.
Yeah,
but without spoiling anything.
Trying not to spoil too much.
I started another one yesterday. I'm 30 chapters in.
Which one is that?
The Climber. Have you heard of it?
Oh,
it's very good.
I've heard this one is fucking soul breaking, incredible.
It's
is it kind of
niche than Real?
Dude, I've heard this one is phenomenal.
The art is phenomenal. It's good. It's really fucking good.
Total solitude, bro. Yeah. That's what I've heard this manga is about.
Yeah, it's basically just this dude, the main character Mori. He's just in the trenches emotionally, has cast away all relationships. And he changes schools, and he basically gets pressured to climb the school building, and he's like, "Fuck, that was cool." I've read
the first 5 chapters of it, and it's not that I literally, the only reason I dropped it is because when I started reading this, we were doing our what was the horror manga episode that we did? Yeah. And I read the one about the people finding the holes in the wall, and then it, that one really creeped me out. So I stopped reading anything revolving around mountains, but keep going.
Yeah. But it's just him, basically, finding, a burning passion for, the first time, and him, wanting to be a climber. And basically, because of his past and, him, just kind of, being forced to cast aside relationships, he wants to solo climb. He wants to be alone in all aspects of life, and he has these instances where he has to work with other people to become a better climber, but then it seems like anything he does in these relationships that he's building, he just messes him up even further, which pushes him to want to be alone further, and pushes him to his dream of climbing the hardest peak in the world, free solo, which is
nuts. You die. Yeah. I watched a thing.
I mean, it's just like real. Like, it's just genuine emotion. It's fucking big, giant fucking themes of like grief and just like solitude and just like depression and like thinking you're gonna fuck everything up. But it's handled really well. It's paced, at least through the first 30 chapters, like he's still learning to climb, which I feel like you could have easily just like skipped or something, but taking the time to build it up and make you care and make you really like want to know why he wants to be alone.
Yeah, no, it sounds phenomenal. It sounds like a show.
The art is so good.
Sounds like a show that's right up my fucking alley.
It
sounds
good.
like
I think you'd like it.
I think, or a manga that is right up my alley.
Especially after Real.
Yeah,
it's very, very similar.
No, I mean, it sounds phenomenal. It's definitely something I'll have to give another take at. It's not that I didn't enjoy the first 5 like whatsoever. I just literally have not gone back to it. But so what? So you said you're 30 into it. How long is the actual?
I'm not sure if it's still going, but I think it's 160 something.
Oh, right okay. So it's not too bad. That's a couple day project if you really like it. I mean, shit, dude. Manga is this last 2 weeks of reading manga has really re-sparked. We talked about passion throughout this whole thing, but it's really re-sparked a passion for consuming this genre again for me.
And I feel like in recent episodes, we've done a couple manga episodes. We've talked about how we wanted to do a manga episode so we could just step aside from anime a little bit and like try to find a spark again in reading. And I feel like we've never been able to do it before. Like, we just read shit that wasn't fit for us. Like, we did the horror manga episode. We read like hundreds of chapters for these episodes, but it wasn't until this week that I was like, fuck, like,
this shit's good.
Stop like texting me. Stop hanging out with me. I want to grind. Yeah, this shit's good.
I want to grind. Because I feel like you were kind of already on that wave after reading Invincible. I cannot believe you read all of Invincible.
Fuck, it's so good.
I'll maybe that'll be a project for me.
It's so good.
That'll be a project for me. Because we'll talk about it after. But I mean, manga's phenomenal, man. It really is. It makes me want to go back and read some of the animes that I've watched, their mangas, because now that I'm reading March Comes In Like a Lion, and I've seen the show already, and I had a very similar grievance to what you talked about with the whole, like, it's not that it gets repetitive, but they really beat the point in that they're trying to tell you. Because I feel like repetitive with the conversation that they're having is hard to do. I don't think there is repetitive in that sense, but like, we get the fucking point. This dude's depressed. How about we get to the point where someone comes in his life and, not necessarily helps him and makes him undepressed, but kind of gives him an idea of what not being depressed would look like.
Kick in the ass.
Yeah, a little kick in the ass. Get the fuck up. Come on, get your day ahead. But what the fuck was I even talking about there? I do these rambles all the time where I fully lose my thought.
I think you're getting to the point where a manga can be the same but a lot different.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's basically what I was trying to say. It makes me want to go back and read some of the mangas of the big shows that I've watched. Just because I feel like they'll be, sure, it's point A, point B, C, D, E, F. They'll all be the same. But there's going to be these little moments in between that in the anime are either glanced over or done too much that in the manga will be just done so well. We've talked about this before. You get handed this beautiful fucking story. This beautiful story in any case. Why on God's good green earth are you not doing just a 1-to-1?
Yes, exactly, dude. We've said it 100 times now.
Just do a 1-to-1.
Continue to say it.
Just do a fucking 1-to-1. And this might boil down to us just not understanding what goes into making a manga and turning a manga into an anime. Maybe you literally cannot do a 1-to-1. There might be some process in there that stops you from doing it. But if you can do a 1-to-1, do the fucking 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Because if Kaiju, where I am right now, if Kaiju doesn't do a 1-to-1, right? If they decide to fuck this up in some aspect, I will be so fucking mad because I loved Kaiju.
I mean, we did like a few episodes, do like the Urasawa episodes. Like he's a fucking master. Some of them, like 20th Century Boys, they just don't even adapt it. And like, leave it. Don't fucking do it because it's going to fucking ruin it.
You're going to ruin it. And then you're going to deter people from going back and reading, watching this beautiful fucking show. If we talked about this a couple months ago, the show Pluto, please fucking watch Pluto. Please watch Pluto. Dude, oh my God.
I have like 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh my God, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I rewatched Pluto. That's how much I loved it. It was
it's good.
North number 12. Where are you, my boy? Like, that shit's fucking, it tears me to shreds just to think about it. But yeah, overall point of this episode is I think that we both have unlocked kind of like what the Climber, from how I hear, and what Real is talking about. We have unlocked the passion a little bit, and I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be there.
I'm specifically after next week, we'll both have a couple of weeks off of everything, so we can really get in the trenches here.
Yeah, we can. Might fucking text Hancher, be like, hey, throw me a shift.
You can't now.
Oh, I'm
fully terminated.
I'm fully terminated, aren't I? Yeah.
That's why he told me not to do that.
Oh, I'm fully terminated. All right. Well, that means I fucking quit that job. Oh, fucking Christ. Oh, what the fuck were we even talking about? Oh yeah, there was a manga I read that I didn't get to talk about as much. It wasn't that good. It was called Bastard.
I have heard of Bastard.
Yeah, Bastard. So the premise of it is this dude's like this little kid. The manga starts off, it's like 5 chapters, and this entire time they keep...
The whole thing was 5 chapters?
No, the whole thing's probably like 140. I'm only like 50 chapters in. Probably won't keep reading, not gonna lie. It's gotten pretty bad. But the manga starts off, and you see these like posters on the wall for missing people on like street signs and stuff like that, and then you meet this main character. He's this little boy. I'm pretty sure it's a manhwa, actually, or a manhwa, however you pronounce it. And you meet this character, and the entire time you're thinking like, oh, this guy's like a serial killer.
Is this the one where his dad's
his dad's the killer.
I think you've talked about this before.
And so I picked it back up, I was like 25 chapters in when I last left off, read another 25. Hoping that it would get better, and it didn't get any better. No. But the one aspect of this show that it's really, really good is like this kid is forced to portray this like fucking lost soul, sad puppy that just needs direction and help from these people that he'll bring into his life so that the dad can then kill.
Emotional manipulation.
Very much so, emotional manipulation. And like the kid, I'm like sitting there the entire fucking time, and I'm like, dude, like, stand up for yourself here, man. Like, do something here. Because he has these moments of like, he'll have his inner monologue, and he'll be like, I cannot keep doing this. Like, even though I am not the one pulling the trigger, I am loading the gun.
It's
like,
just you want to shake him. Like, then stop fucking doing it.
Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Like, I get it. Your dad will probably like go fucking berserko, wonko crazy, but you'll probably get out of the situation. And if you die, I'm not trying to be a dick in this situation or anything.
Might be better.
Might be a better fucking situation if the dad kills you. Like, the dad, he'll go to jail. And that's a rough statement to make. Guys, it's a fucking manga, all right? I can say what the fuck I want. If the dad goes to jail, then boom, no one else is fucking dying anymore. Like, it win-win situation.
Or better, you fucking beat the shit out of your dad goes to jail, and you're scot-free.
That's like a scene in it. His dad catches him doing push-ups because he's planning on trying to like to beat up his dad. His dad's like, okay, come here. Dad beats the fucking piss out of this kid, dude. He's like, it's like 10 chapters. It like takes place over like 6 months. It like starts off kid's skin and bone, ends. He's been doing like push-ups, eating a lot, and you're like, oh fuck, this kid's like pretty big now. Dad just fucking floors him, dude. Just floors him. I was sitting there like, yes, this is when it happens. And that's when I realized, I was like, that's not an option. That ain't an option, bro.
Go back. Do a few more push-ups.
Oh my god. Oh fuck me, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Yeah, man, I'm all good. Any final thoughts surrounding the subject of manga as a whole? Anything you want to leave off with? Looking a little tired.
Finish your manga in a way.
Yeah, finish your manga in a way. I would
do it healthily though.
Yeah, do it in a good way. If you can't do it, you can't do it, and I have to accept that. As a fan, I have to accept the limitations that the creator has. But I would really like if, do it for me in a way. Push yourself like a little bit.
If you finish like 3 chapters this year, I'll buy them.
I will give you money. I'll Venmo you. I'll
delete my Mangadex account.
I won't. No, I ain't doing my fucking.
I'll buy them though.
I've been using Shonen Jump recently because sometimes the reel isn't reel's on Mangadex, but Kaiju wasn't on Mangadex. So I had to go find it on the only one they had it on.
Kaiju's on Mangadex.
I couldn't find it. I could only find the fan colored version, which I was like, I don't want to read the fan colored version. But yeah, I mean, I got nothing left. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. It's a joy to be back. Hopefully we can keep this thing going.
Yeah.
After
how we transition.
Yeah. After we
happens.
after we split paths coming up soon. That'll be a fun little episode. Maybe we'll plan something special for that.
We'll drink a 30 rack for that episode.
Oh, we should drink a 30 rack of beer for that episode. Oh, what a great idea that is. We will see you guys.
All right. See ya.
クションだって慣れてきたけれどあ